What's going on, guys? Eric Allen, owner of Top Rated MMA. Hey, check out this show. I was able to get referee Randy Silva on the show, and it is awesome, full of laughs. Check it out. If I fall down, there's no one to catch me. Nobody's witnessing. If I go down, you're going with me. I'm taking you away. Good, man. Hey, thank you so much for being on the show, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, we only talked about it every time we see each other.
I know, right? That's awesome. That's awesome, dude. Hey, dude, so I've been meaning to ask, how long have you actually been reffing?
That's a good question. 8, 9 years, maybe?
Okay.
So
you've been in there and seen quite a few fights then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the things, everyone always asks me, do you remember when, you ref my one fight and I did this and I did that? And I was like, no.
Yeah, right. Totally. That's awesome.
5,000 fights later, they all blend together, so.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome. Were you a fighter before you became a ref?
I was not.
Okay.
I did train, so I'm a secondary black belt in Kung Fu, and then I've also done Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for, I was probably 3 or 4 years straight with Jiu-Jitsu, and then, kind of fell off the wayside lately. But,
Yeah.
You got to know, one of the things about reffing is you got to know what you're looking at and looking for and what the fighters are going to be looking for as well. So
yeah,
you got to be, as far as a chess match goes, you got to kind of be with them, with what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because the last thing you want to do is stand a guy up when he's working for something.
Right. Sure.
A lot of rookie refs do that, and I'm like, oh shit, shouldn't have done that.
Right. That's awesome. That's awesome. What's been your favorite moment in your reffing career?
Wow, that's a good question. Man, again, they all blend together. Actually, one of the most exciting moments was getting the first call to ref for King of the Cage.
Yeah.
And then my very first fight with them was Jamel Jones, and he knocked the living shit out of a guy, and I had to jump in there, and I was like,
that's awesome.
Great. So first fight televised, the guy gets totally plastered, and I remember shoving Jamel off, and the guy was unconscious. I don't remember. I don't think I've ever seen that guy again, actually.
Wow.
But he turns over, and he's starting to wake up, and I'm trying to get his mouthpiece out, and he's kind of crying because it's a weird emotional thing when you get knocked out like that.
Sure.
But he's like
Braver
crying, like, hey, I need that mouthpiece out so he doesn't choke on it. And he's like, no, I need it. And I was like, no, fight's over, buddy. You don't need it.
Right.
But yeah, that was a good one.
Nice. That's awesome. So in one of the fights that happened back in November when I was there, one of the fighters jumped up pretty fast, thought that you didn't, or thought that you stopped early, and he didn't tap. From my angle, it looked like he did. Have you ever had a fighter jump up and get in your face, and then how did it end?
I specifically remember what you're talking about, and so that guy jumped up, and he was kind of heated.
Yeah.
But from my angle and everyone on his right side, he came down with one big slap on the mat.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
So that's, and we tell the guys before the fights, we're like, hey, it doesn't have to be, 3 taps or anything like that. 1 tap and we're in there.
Right. Sure.
But normally the fighters don't get in my face. Most of the time it's the corners.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So Usually the fighter recognizes what happened, but sometimes the corners don't.
Right, that makes sense.
They're usually the ones that get in your face.
Okay.
uh, I did have a mom get in my face once, though.
Oh, what?
So the fighter's mom got super pissed at me because I stopped it too soon.
Okay.
Like,
okay.
like your son was getting his ass handed to him, and I saved his life.
Right.
And he was super pissed that I stopped it too soon. I was like, "You're insane." Plus, he was an amateur.
Okay, right. So,
and that's one of the things, like the difference between the pros and the amateurs is like these guys aren't getting paid
right
at all, you know, and it's so we tend to stop the amateurs a little earlier than we would the pros.
Sure.
Because when they get a big cut across their face, they're gonna pay for it.
Yeah. Right.
The promotion.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Gotcha. That's interesting. So what made you decide to be a ref?
Well, I've always been a fan of MMA, and I remember me and my brothers and my dad would rent like UFC 1 on VHS, and wow, look at these guys beat the crap out of each other, and so I was always a fan, and well, how do you become a part of this? What are the steps? Where do you even begin?
Yeah.
And this was back when I lived in California. There was an amateur show coming to town, and I don't know what I was thinking, but I was thinking I'd see Herb Dean and John McCarthy there and whatever. And we get to the show, and it's just these guys that I've never seen before, and I actually went up and talked to one of them afterwards, and I was like, how are you doing this? Like, how did you get into it? And it all starts with like Big John McCarthy has a referee camp that he does called Command.
Nice.
Then Herb Dean has a referee school that he does, and
Gotcha.
I did Herb Dean's course.
Okay. Very cool.
That was it took a couple tries, I'm not gonna lie.
To get through it.
Yeah. Some guys can get through it first try, but it took me a couple tries.
Sure.
And he actually uses me as an example, for some of the guys that don't make it the first try and stuff like that. Like, so it's actually pretty cool. So me and him have become, pretty good friends. I don't get to see him that often, but when it comes to Coeur d'Alene and stuff, I get to see him. But he's pretty cool because, like, if I ever have a question or something weird happens, or there's something that because there's always something new that happens in a fight. I can give him a call and be like, hey, this and this happened. What would you have done, or what do you suggest if that ever happens again? And he, tell you, he's got a wealth of knowledge, so it's pretty cool.
That's actually the first time that I met you, I think, was at King of the Cage last year. And I was sitting cage side, and Herb Dean was there, and that was like a bucket list for me. Like, holy crap, Herb Dean's sitting next to me. And he's like, "Hey, how did you think that fight ended?" I'm like, "Shut up, dude! He's asking me that question."
Yeah,
super cool dude.
As far as down to earth, he's like the coolest guy. And you've seen him at King of the Cage.
Yeah,
like the line for his autograph wraps around the cage,
right?
Totally. And the fighters were like, "Hey, what about me? I just fought." Like, I don't give a shit about you. Herb Dean's here.
Totally.
But it's actually pretty cool. To the point now where people, from the fans, they come up to me or Tom Sutton, the other guy that usually refs for King of the Cage, and now they're like, we don't need Herb here. We got you guys. So,
yeah. The beard is recognizable.
Yeah, it's definitely getting to that point where,
That's awesome. Well, care if we do some rapid fire?
No, go for it.
You got Rockhold or Whitaker?
Whitaker.
Yeah, that's my pick as well. Is there an end to the length of your beard, or are you just going to keep going crazy with it?
I don't have an answer for that one.
Okay.
I will grow it until my boss probably tells me to stop.
Yes. Yeah.
So, because
I'm
my
gonna say-
job is kind of a professional job.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
It's the same thing with reffing. Like when I walk into a place, people know who I am. They might not recognize my name or remember where they saw me, but they know my face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
So,
That's awesome. What has been your funniest moment while reffing?
probably when that fight I was telling you about, when
Yeah.
that guy was crying and he's just like, "No, I need my mouthpiece. I need it." And I was like, it was really hard not to laugh in his face.
Right.
But,
Sure. Favorite band or type of music?
ooh, favorite band, Pearl Jam.
Nice.
So, alternative rock, I guess, would be my favorite type of music.
Yeah.
Lately, I'm not gonna lie, it's been a little bit of Ed Sheeran.
Okay.
Sheeran, he sings some pretty good songs.
He
I'm not gonna
drops
lie.
the beats, man. He's good.
Yeah.
For sure. Absolutely. I actually saw, so I always wanted to see Pearl Jam, and then
Mm-hmm.
in my early 20s, I got to go see him, and it was after they decided to, like, get rid of the general admission, so it was all seats.
Oh yeah, after they sued Ticketmaster and all that other stuff.
Yeah, yeah. So being in my, like, 22-ish probably,
Mhm.
drank way too much beer, I definitely fell asleep during their concert. They didn't
Oh.
keep me awake. It was at the Key Arena in Seattle. My buddy had to wake me up at the end, so.
Dude, they're still playing.
Right, yeah. And then I've noticed that I saw your picture. What is the Bearded Villains?
Oh, the Bearded Villains is a bearded. It's an international beard club.
Nice.
So we do charity work, things like that. So even though there's villains in the name, but it's actually like a big charity organization.
Okay.
So there's two different clubs in Washington. That's the east side and the west side. There's California clubs, Texas. We're actually in Sweden, Switzerland. Yeah, we're an international group. And so, mostly hang out and look at each other's beards, but then there's some charity work. Like we just did a homeless kind of a drive where we brought socks, soaps, different things like that, old jackets or new jackets or whatever. And, you just fill bags and bags.
Yeah.
I think the last time we did that, we were able to fill 25 bags or something like that.
Okay.
To hand out to the homeless.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, hey,
Right there.
Oh, that's the logo? Sweet, man. That's a
Yeah.
rad hat. Well, Randy, thank you so much for being on the show, dude. I appreciate it, man. I'm excited that we got to finally talk and get on the show.
I know.
So-
I know. Me too. Been waiting for that phone call.
Well, thank you again. I'm super pumped,
Sure.
man. Thank you so much for checking out the show. Really appreciate it. Please give this video a like, share it, subscribe to the channel. Also check out topratedmma.com. Thank you for the support. Have an awesome day.